Good morning students. Today in this video lecture, we will discuss the analysis of variance, abbreviated as ANOVA. Statistician R. A. Fisher developed the technique of analysis of variance, abbreviated as ANOVA. It is a statistical technique specially designed to test whether the means of more than two quantitative populations are equal. Basically, it consists of classifying and cross-classifying statistical results and testing whether the means of a specified classification differ significantly. The assumptions of ANOVA. Part number A, normality. It means the values in each group are normally distributed. Part B, homogeneity. It means the variance within each group should be equal for all groups. This assumption is needed in order to combine or pool the variances within the groups into a single source of variation. Part C, independence of error. It states that the error should be independent for each value. The technique of analysis of variance can be classified into two parts, that is one-way classification and two-way classification. In case of one-way classification, the data are classified according to one criterion only. And in one-way classification, in the initial part, calculate the variance between the samples, then calculate the variance within the samples, then you'll be able to calculate the F value, and in the last part, compare the calculated F value with the table value for making meaningful conclusions. And in case of a two-way classification, the two-way classification is a procedure in which the data are classified according to two different criteria or factors. The procedure for analysis of variance of two-way classification is somewhat different than the one-way classification. And in this part, you can first calculate the correction factor. After calculating the correction factor, calculate the sum of squares, that is SSC, SSR and SSE. Then calculate the mean sum of squares, that is MSC, MSR and MSE. Thereon calculate two F values. In the first case, calculate the F value by dividing MSC by MSE, and in the second case, calculate the F value by dividing MSR by MSE. Thereon, compare the calculated F values with the related table values for making meaningful conclusions. Students, this is the general procedure and we'll solve numerical of each kind to gain proficiency. And we'll discuss the numericals in this video only. Dealing with the numerical of one-way classifications. The numerical which is on your screen relates to there are three samples which have been obtained from normal populations with equal variances. Test the hypothesis that the sample means are equal at 5% level of significance. Students, please note that there are three samples which are given, that is variable x1, variable x2 and variable x3, which represents three different samples. And in this case, we propose the null hypothesis that there is no significant difference in the mean of three samples. Now, the numerical information which was given to us, there were three samples, so we wrote the information related to variable 1, for variable 2 and for variable 3. In the initial part, what we calculated the summation of variable 1. We added all the values as given in the numerical for variable 1, and the summation of x1 relates to a numeric value 50. In the similar case, we then calculated the summation of values in variable x2, that is summation of x2, which amounts equivalent to 40. In the third part, we calculated the summation of x3 values, that is summation x3 by adding 12 plus 9 plus 13 plus 12 plus 14, which amounts equivalent to 60. Then we calculated the mean for variable 1 by dividing the summation value, that is 50, by the number of items, that are 5. So 50 divided by 5 is equivalent to 10. Similarly, for the mean for variable 2, that is x2 bar, we divided the sum, that is 40, by the number of observations. 40 divided by 5 is equivalent to 8. And the mean for variable third is the sum, that is equivalent to 60, is divided by the number of observations, that is 5. 60 divided by 5 is equivalent to 12. So what we achieved up till now, students? We achieved the mean for all the three variables on individual basis. Now we'll calculate the grand mean. Grand mean is represented by two parallel bars. So the grand mean in this case is the mean for variable 1, that is 10, the mean for variable 2, that is 8, the mean for variable 3, that is 12. 10 plus 8 plus 12 divided by 3. So what we get, 30 divided by 3 is equivalent to 10. Now we will calculate the variance between the samples. Students, please note, in the first case, we'll calculate the difference between the mean for variable 1 with respect to the grand mean. The mean for variable 1 is 10 and the grand mean is again 10. So 10 minus 10 will become 0 and the square of 0 is 0. So for all the observations for variable 1, the value for the square of 0 will remain as 0. And for the second part, we'll take the difference of the mean for variable 2 from the grand mean. The mean for variable 2 was 8 and the grand mean is equal to 10. So if you take the difference of these two, this becomes the minus 2 square. So if you take the square of minus 2, the square of minus 2 will lead to 4. So for all the items for variable 2, the value will be equivalent to 4. In the third case, the mean for variable 3 was 12 and the grand mean was 10. So if you subtract 12 minus 10, you will get a value equivalent to 2 and the square of 2 is equal to 4. So for all the values in variable x3, you get a value equivalent to 4. Now the sum of squares between samples is the addition of values for variable 1, that is 0, and for variable 2, that is 20, and for variable 3, that is 20. So it will amount to a value equivalent to 40. Now we'll calculate the variance within the sample. The variance within the sample can be calculated by using the formulas, that is, subtract the actual value of x1 series from the mean of x1 series and take the square of it. So 8 minus 10 is equal to minus 2 and the square of minus 2 is equivalent to 4. Likewise, 10 minus 10 whole square is equivalent to 0. Thereon 7 minus 10 whole square minus 3 whole square is equivalent to 9. Likewise, 40 minus 10 whole square is equivalent to 4 square is equivalent to 16. And 11 minus 10 whole square, the whole square of 1 or the square of 1 is equivalent to 1. Similarly, we'll now take it for variable second. For variable second, the mean for variable 2 is 8. So we listed it for all the items in this case. Now we'll take the difference of individual items for variable 2. 7 minus 8 square whole square is equal to 1. 5 minus 8 whole square minus 3 whole square is equal to 9. 10 minus 8 whole square 2 square is equal to 4. 9 minus 8 whole square 1 square is equal to 1. 9 minus 8 whole square 1 square is equal to 1. Similarly, we'll now do it for variable third. For variable third, the mean is equivalent to 12. So we listed it over here for all the observations in variable 3. Now we'll take the deviations on individual basis for variable 3. 12 minus 12 square whole square is equal to 0. 9 minus 12 whole square minus 3 whole square is equal to 9. 13 minus 12 whole square 1 square is equal to 1. 12 minus 12 whole square 0 square is equal to 0. 14 minus 12 whole square 2 square is equal to 4. This means the sum of squares between samples is equivalent to the addition of values for variable 1, that is 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 1, which is equivalent to 30, plus the values for variable 2, that is 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is equivalent to 16, and for variable 3, that is 0 plus 9 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4, that is equivalent to 14. When you add all these values, 30 plus 16 plus 14, this gives you a value equivalent to 60. Now we will set up the ANOVA table and we will study the results for meaningful interpretation. The first column represents the source of information, that is between and within, in a separate line. The second column represents the sum of squares. Students, please remember that the sum of squares between was equivalent to 60 and sum of squares within was equivalent to 60, what we just calculated in the previous part. And the v value for between is equivalent to 2, and for within means the total data which was given to us, and the total data which was given to us was for 15 items. How 15 items? For variable 1 there were 5 items, for variable 2 there were 5 items, for variable 3 there were 5 items. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is equivalent to 15, and 1 unit is subtracted from each variable, so 3 is subtracted. 15 minus 3 is equivalent to 12. Now we will calculate the mean square. Mean square will be calculated by dividing the corresponding sum of square value by the related v value. So 40 divided by 2 is equivalent to 20, and in the second case 60 divided by 12 is equivalent to 5. I hope students you must have gained the knowledge of solving the one-way ANOVA numerical up till now. Now we will calculate the f value. The f value can be calculated by dividing the mean square between by mean square within. The mean square between value is equivalent to 20 and the mean square within value is equivalent to 5. These values we just calculated. When 20 is divided by 5, we get a value equivalent to 4, which means the f calculated value is equivalent to 4. Now we will calculate the table value of f for v1 equal to 2 and v2 equal to 12. Students, please note that these two values we have taken from the ANOVA table which we have recently studied. So f table value for v1 equal to 2 and v2 equal to 12 at 5% level of significance is equivalent to 3.88. The table value can be taken from the f table which is given at the end of the books or in the mathematical tables. The rule to now proceed further to make meaningful conclusion about the hypothesis is that the f calculated value should be less than the f table value. If this is true, then the hypothesis will get accepted, otherwise the hypothesis will get rejected. Now in our case, the numerical which we are doing, the f calculated value is equivalent to 4 and the f table value is equivalent to 3.88, which means f calculated value is greater than the f table value. So the rule gets nullified, which means the null hypothesis H0 is rejected, which concludes that there is a significant difference in the mean of 3 samples which are given in the numerical. Taking the numerical of two-way classification now. The information which is on your screen relates to the number of refrigerators sold by 4 salesmen in the 3 months, that is May, June and July, and this is the information which is given to you. You are required to deduce the F ratios and conclude whether there is a significant difference in the sales made by 4 salesmen, and in the second part deduce after meaningful conclusions, is there a significant difference in the sales made during the different months. So we'll solve this two-way classification numerical. Prior to moving further, we'll propose the null hypothesis in this case. In this case, there will be two null hypotheses. So in the first part, the null hypothesis would be the sales made by 4 salesmen do not differ significantly. And in the second case, it would be that the sales made during different months do not differ significantly. Students, please understand, in the numerical, the information is given in 2 digits for every value. So what we are doing is, for the simplification purpose, we'll reduce the data for each given value by reducing 40 from every given value, which means the information given to us in the numerical is the information which is represented in the first table, that is this table. And what we'll do for our simplification purpose, we will subtract 40 units from each given value. That is, when 50 minus 40 is equivalent to 10, 46 minus 40 is equivalent to 6, 39 minus 40 is equivalent to minus 1. Likewise, 40 minus 40 is equivalent to 0. 48 minus 40 is equivalent to 40. 44 minus 40 is equivalent to 4. Similarly, 48 minus 40 is equivalent to 8. 50 minus 40 is equivalent to 10, and 40 minus 40 is equivalent to 0. Likewise, for salesman D, 39 minus 40 is equivalent to minus 1. 45 minus 40 is equivalent to 5, and 39 minus 40 is equivalent to minus 1. Students, now we will take the row wise sum. The row wise sum of 10 plus 8, 18 minus 1 is equivalent to 17. And for the second row, the addition of values 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 5 leads to a value equivalent to 29. Similarly, for the last row, this is for the case of July. The sum of minus 1, 4, 0 and minus 1 is equivalent to 2. Likewise, we'll take the addition of values for every salesman. That is, for salesman A, 10 plus 6 plus minus 1 is equivalent to 15. Likewise, for salesman B, this is 12. For salesman C, it is equivalent to 18. And for salesman D, it is equivalent to 3. And the total of rows and the total of columns is equivalent to 48. So this is regarded as the total value. Now we will calculate the correction factor. The correction factor can be calculated by dividing the t-square value by the number of observations. The total value in this case, the t value in this case is 48, which we just calculated. The square of 48 is 2304. When 2304 is divided by the number of observations in the given numerical, that is equivalent to 12 in this case. So 2304 divided by 12 is equivalent to 192. In the next step, we will calculate the sum of squares between salesmen, that is A, B, C and D. Student, kindly note that the sum of squares between salesmen will be used with respect to the data which we just calculated in the tabular form, which means the summation x1 square is the column total for salesman A, which means 15, which we just calculated the summation x1 value, and the summation x2 value is for salesman B, that is equivalent to 12, which we just calculated. For salesman C, the summation x3 value is equivalent to 18, and for salesman D, the summation x4 value is equivalent to 3. The square of 15 is 225, the square of 12 is 144, the square of 18 is 324, and the square of 3 is 9. When 225 is divided by 3, it leads to a value equivalent to 75, and 144 divided by 3 is equal to 48, and 324 divided by 3 is equal to 108, and 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. Students, please note that while calculating the sum of squares from the additive part, the correction factor will get reduced. The correction factor is equivalent to 192, which we just calculated recently. So when 192 is subtracted from this additive component, we get a value equivalent to 42. Now we will calculate the sum of squares between months, that is for May, June and July. Students, kindly note that for sum of squares between months, we'll take the row wise total. The row wise total for month May was 17, for month June was 29, and for month July was 2. So the square of 17 is 289, the square of 29 is 841, the square of 2 is 4. It means we'll divide 289 by 4. Students, kindly note that why we are dividing the sum of square between sum expressions by 4. Why we are dividing it by 4? Because there are 4 salesmen which the data is proportioned against. So 289 will be divided by 4. When 289 is divided by 4, the value is 72.25, and 841 divided by 4, the value is 210.25. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and students, likewise we did it for the earlier part, the correction factor will also get reduced in this case also. So 192 will get subtracted from this additive component and value equivalent to 91.5 will be achieved. The total sum of squares can be achieved by taking the square of the values on individual basis. That means the square of 10 is equivalent to 100, the square of 6 is equivalent to 36, the square of minus 1 is equivalent to 1, the square of 8 is equivalent to 64, the square of 4 is equivalent to 16, the square of 8 is equivalent to 64, the square of 10 is equivalent to 100, the square of minus 1 is equivalent to 1, the square of 5 is equivalent to 25, and lastly the square of minus 1 is equivalent to 1. So when we'll add all these terms taken together, which is written over here, we get a value equivalent to 216. Now we will set up the ANOVA table for making meaningful conclusions. The source of variation will include between salesmen, between months, and the residual part. Students, kindly note that we calculated the sum of squares between salesmen, that is equivalent to 42. The sum of squares between months, that is equivalent to 91.5, and we recently calculated the total sum of square, which is equivalent to 216. When 42 and 91.5 is reduced from 216, we get a value equivalent to 82.5. And for between salesmen, the value of V is equal to 3 as 4 minus 1. 4 salesmen A, B, C, D, 1 get reduced, 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. And for between months, 3 months, May, June and July, 1 get reduced, 3 minus 1 is equivalent to 2. For residual, these two values will be multiplied to each other. 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6, and the total number of values of V is 3 plus 2 plus 6, which is equal to 11. Now we'll calculate the mean sum of squares. The mean sum of square will be calculated by dividing the sum of square value by the corresponding V value. So 42 divided by 3 is equal to 14. Similarly, 91.5 divided by 2 is equivalent to 45.75, and likewise 82.5 divided by 6 is equivalent to 13.75. Now on the basis of this, we'll calculate now the F values. The F value for the first part, that is the F value for salesmen, will be calculated by dividing the mean square value between salesmen by the mean square value for residuals. So it means 14 divided by 13.75 is equivalent to 1.01. Similarly, the F value for months can be calculated by dividing the mean square value between months by the mean square residual value, which means 45.75 when divided by 13.75 leads to a value equivalent to 3.32. Now we'll summarize the information which we calculated up till now, and we'll make meaningful conclusions. In the case of salesman, the F calculated value for salesman is equivalent to 1.01. As we did it for the V value 3 and for the residual value 6, so we'll read these two values to identify the table value. So the F table value for V1 equal to 3 and V2 equal to 6 at 5% level of significance, the F table value is equivalent to 4.76. As we did in the earlier question, we'll now compare the calculated value with the table value. In our case, the F calculated value, which is 1.01, is less than the F table value, that is 4.76. as 1.01 is less than 4.76. Thus, the null hypothesis gets accepted, which means the sales made by 4 salesmen do not differ significantly. And in the second case, we'll calculate the F value for months. The calculated F value for months is equivalent to 3.32. And now we'll compare this calculated value of F for months with the table value. The table value will now be read for V1 equal to 2 and V2 equal to 6. That is for the residual part. So we'll now calculate the F table value for V1 equal to 2 and V2 equal to 6 at 5% level of significance. The value is equal to 5.14. Again, we'll set up the preposition to substantiate the null hypothesis. That is, we'll compare the calculated value and the table value. In this case, the F calculated value, that is 3.32, is less than the F table value, that is 5.14, which means the null hypothesis gets accepted in this case. So we will be able to conclude that sales made during different months do not differ significantly. Students, I hope you must have gained the clarity of the procedure which is to be followed to solve the numerical related to two-way classification. I hope in this video lecture you must have gained the knowledge of ANOVA and the classification of ANOVA, that is one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA, and the procedure which is to be used to solve the numerical related to one-way classification and two-way classification. Thank you students and have a nice day.